On Monday, April 11th, 1981, at one of the banks in Chicago, an employee opened the bank's vault, and everything seemed fine. No issues, the vault was tidy, and all the safety deposit boxes were in their normal condition. After a while, one of the bank's customers arrived to open her box. The employee took her into the vault, but when they placed the keys into the lock, they were shocked to find that the lock fell inward and broke. It turned out that 74 other boxes had also been broken into and their valuable contents stolen. Strangely, there was no sign of how the thieves entered the vault, no hole in the floor or breach in the wall, and the door was intact with no damage or tampering. As we mentioned, the vault and safety deposit boxes appeared undisturbed, unlike typical bank heists where you'd expect the vault to be overturned. Why, in this specific case, did the thieves take care to leave the vault tidy? And how did they enter in the first place? There was no hole, no breach, and the door wasn't broken. This is one of the most distinctive and clever bank heists ever recorded. Naturally, the bank contacted the police, who arrived promptly and began their investigation, along with FBI agents since the bank was federally regulated. Investigators discovered that the thieves had stolen valuables worth over $1 million, a significant amount, equivalent to about $3.5 million today when adjusted for inflation. The crime scene baffled the investigators. Their first question was, how did they get in? There were no holes or breaches, and the vault door was locked with no signs of damage or malfunction. Moreover, they found a wind-up alarm clock, along with tools like hammers and screwdrivers used to break into the boxes. How did the thieves enter and exit without leaving any trace? Local newspapers described this theft as the perfect crime. Strangely, the mastermind behind this perfect crime was a single individual named William Smart. Smart was indeed an apt name, as the word means intelligent, and he was in fact a serial thief who could be called a bank robber. This heist wasn't his only operation, but it was by far his largest and most successful. Our story takes place in a small town called Benton, located in Illinois, Chicago, USA, during the 1980s. This town had only one bank, a branch of the First National Bank, which was a federal institution under government jurisdiction. At that time, the bank's vaults operated on a timer system. When work hours ended, the vault would be locked not by a key, but by setting the timer. The timer worked so that the vault would close at 5 p.m. and reopen at 9 a.m. During these 16 hours, nothing could open the vault. Not a key, not a code, nor any other method. Even if you had the correct code, it wouldn't work during the lockdown period. This timer system was considered an additional layer of security. On Saturday, April 11th, 1981, the employee responsible for the vault locked the door and set the timer to reopen on Monday morning. After the weekend, employees returned to work on Monday, April 13th, 1981. The vault supervisor entered her code, unlocked the vault, and found everything seemingly normal. Nothing appeared unusual. The vault was filled with safety deposit boxes, which people used to store their valuable possessions, such as money, gold, jewelry, and important official documents. Each box required 2 keys to open, one held by the employee responsible for the vault, and another by the customer who owned the box. Both keys had to be used together to unlock the box. That Monday, business proceeded normally until one of the safety deposit box owners arrived and requested to access her box. The employee took her to the vault, but when they tried inserting the keys into the lock fell inward. It was broken. They quickly opened the box and discovered it had been emptied. The employee then checked the other boxes and found that 74 others had also been broken into and their contents stolen. Despite this, the vault showed no visible signs of forced entry. The thieves had gone to great lengths to conceal their actions, even replacing the broken locks in their original positions, though they would fall apart upon touch. Clearly, the intruders had made an effort to avoid immediate detection by the bank staff. William Smart and his brother were frequent visitors to the bank, often interacting with the employees, especially the vault supervisor, building what appeared to be a friendly relationship rather than just a customer-employee dynamic. They observed her closely, analyzing her habits and movements, when she took breaks, how she behaved, etc. We can say they focused more on exploiting human vulnerabilities in the system than technical ones. One technique often used by thieves and hackers alike is called social engineering, which involves understanding and manipulating the human behavior of targeted individuals. Smart exploited the presence of a false ceiling inside the vault, using it to store his tools, lighting, food, water, and everything else he needed. He also took advantage of a primitive alarm system that could easily be disabled by drilling a hole in the speaker. To ensure all alarms were deactivated, he set the wind-up alarm clock to sound at night and monitored whether the police responded. Once he confirmed all alarms were neutralized, he began his plan. On Saturday, April 11, 1981, Smart slipped into the vault by hiding in a small gap in the corner where the safety deposit boxes met. After all employees left and the vault was sealed, he began breaking the locks using large screws precisely matched to the lock sizes to avoid damaging the appearance of the boxes. He continued stealing money and valuables, carefully cleaning up the site and restoring everything to its original position to maintain the illusion of normalcy. Smart played the role of a modern-day Robin Hood, stealing from the rich and redistributing some of the stolen goods to those he believed were less wealthy. He transferred some valuable items from the boxes of affluent customers to those of less financially stable individuals. After completing the operation, he took advantage of ongoing maintenance work at the bank and exited disguised as a maintenance worker, allowing him to smuggle out the loot without raising suspicion. After months of investigation, William Smart was identified as the main perpetrator of the heist. He confessed to the crime in exchange for a reduced sentence and provided detailed insights into how he executed the operation. This incident led to significant changes in banking security standards in the U.S., such as eliminating false ceilings and empty spaces within vaults.